My parents had to go to a feast at night for dinner. At that time I was 16 years old. I also wanted to go to the feast with my parents. But tomorrow was my exam. And I had to sleep early, so that I can get up early in the morning. It was night time, and I didn't want to be alone at home. My parents called a nanny at home to take care of me. The babysitter arrived home at 10 p.m. My parents said to babysitter, "Make dinner for our son. We are running late." So at 10 o'clock in the night they left home. After having dinner I went to my room to sleep. I was sleeping in my room, but the babysitter was awake. There were no houses around our house. It was dark at night. The babysitter was watching television. Suddenly the power went out. The babysitter went and looked at the electrical breaker. So someone had turned off the electricity. When the babysitter turned on the electricity, suddenly he saw a scary doll in the living room window. The scary doll was looking at him. The babysitter ignored the doll and started watching television again. That scary doll was looking at babysitter. The babysitter was thinking of taking this doll and keeping it in other rooms. Suddenly the babysitter got a call of my parent. The babysitter said that your son fell asleep in his room. Asked the babysitter, "There is a strange doll in your room. Should I pick it up and put it in another room?" When the babysitter asked, my parents were scared. And they said, "Close all the windows and doors." And we also phoned the police. The babysitter was scared. She said, "Why are you saying this? And why you are scared?" Then so my parents replied, "There is no doll in our house."
When I was 15 years old. That night was my birthday, and my parents gave me one of their favorite gifts. That gift was an Xbox. I was very happy that night. When my birthday party ended at night, my parents had moved to another country. They had important work to do there, and they had a night flight. My parents left me alone at home. All the guests and all my friends had also gone to their respective homes, and I was alone in the house, but I had my dog with me. It was night, and I went to my room. My room was upstairs. I opened my friend's gifts and started looking. After some time, suddenly the electricity of the house was disconnected. And the sound of my dog barking, I quickly turned on my flashlight and went down to see the dog. But suddenly there was a terrible sound. The dog stopped barking. When I got to my dog, by then it was too late. And my dog was dead. I was very scared. I plucked up the courage to ask out loud, "Who is here?" But there was no sound. I asked again in a loudly voice, "Who is doing all this?" Suddenly I heard someone laughing. That voice was very scary. I was alone at home and was very scared. I did not understand anything. I left the house alone in the dark of night to save my life. I started knocking on my neighbor's door, but they were not opening the door. It was nighttime and my neighbors were sleeping. There was a tree near my house. Suddenly I saw a shadow. He was coming towards me very fast from my house, and he had a hammer in his hand. I started knocking loudly on my neighbor's door. Suddenly the neighbor opened the door, and I entered their house. And that shadow was hidden behind our tree. I told the neighbor everything. He informed the police. When the police reached the house, they found nothing. They just found a dead dog. I never saw that shadow again after that, even today. I think about that shadow. Who was he, and why did he kill the dog? And why was he behind me? I have not found the answer to these questions till date.
My cousin was getting married. They were getting married in the village. We came from the city to see the village wedding. My family was very fond of visiting the village. I was very tired. I returned home alone after seeing the wedding. But my parents and my siblings went to see the village. When I reached my home, it was 2 a.m. at that time. After coming home, I went to my room and slept. But after a while I heard a voice. Eliza. Hearing the voice, my eyes suddenly opened. I thought maybe my parents and my siblings had reached home after visiting the village. I ignored the voice and fell asleep again. But then someone called me by my name. Eliza. My eyes opened again and the voice was louder than before. I came out of my room. So I saw that my family did not come. I was alone at home and I was scared. Suddenly I heard the same horrible sound again. Eliza. Suddenly I looked at the window of my house. There was a tree outside my house. A strange man was standing by the tree and he was looking at me. And maybe he had something up his sleeve. I was very scared and came to his room. I locked my room, then I grabbed my mobile. Told everything to my parents on the phone. After that night I never saw this strange man again in my life.